And it would have been the same, but since it's the same group, I'm probably going to um today's weird. Tuesdays are weird just because of the sole purpose that the meetings are so close together, like back to back. So what we can do in this one is, since we went over the double R's, we can just do objections. I'm down to do, actually, I want to do pitch just because I want to see your guys' pitch structures right now, because that is a very interesting thing. And I think a lot of people would benefit from using the fast pitch overall. Has
That's
anybody
actually,
used it yet?
that's what I wanted to kind of get your input on, just understanding each
Okay.
step a little more.
Okay, yeah, we could go through that. I guess, well, Emmett is probably the only one who has actually used it because Emmett is closing for me. So, Emmett, what is your review of the fast pitch?
So foundation, it's just like the hook. So the way I was taught to do it is just like you just want to make it like straightforward to get the people. So you, instead of saying like making it pitchy and salesy, you just go, so my goal for you. And then it just kind of sounds like the next course of action. And then you say XYZ for where they want to be. And then you tie it down to what you guys can deliver. Then you go like how we go about doing that is we give you XYZ support to fix XYZ problem, tie it down to all of that stuff so that everything they told you in disco, you have the solution for how to fix it. And then you're going to get into the result that it's going to give them. And then so that we can do XYZ. And then you put it in timeline for what they can expect on like a 6, 12 month, whatever your program is.
Yes. Okay. So if we break it down in that basic structure, you should be able to bang that out in like 2, 3 minutes max. So foundation is just a hook. The ascension is just like three core deliverables. The first one being the main thing you need to solve for them, or they're like big problem. And then after that, the shift is an identity piece where you essentially help them to understand the transition or the identity they get to gain as a result of them going through the program. So I got to let someone in. So the identity shift or the change they receive as a result of going through the program, and then timeline is a reasonable timeline they can expect for like how long the program is, right? So if you're going into 6 months, then at that point you can break it down into like months 1 to 2, months 2 to 4, months 4 to 6, right? So in terms of the goals that we want you to achieve, and then you attach a benefit or something they can visibly see or feel for themselves going through those time frames as well, right? So we clear out everything logical, but the pitch is very emotionally and transformative. Like, it's just transformative in general. It's built the same way that landing pages are built. So yeah, that's how it
And
works.
then another thing though that I really like that I added in recently is you get them to say like, just ask them like if you had this support and structure like 6, 12 months ago, where do you think you'd be today? Because then they justify
Mm.
that they'll be in the position they want to be. And then you just ask them how they want to pay, because it's like it would be stupid to say, yeah, I'd be where I want to be and then not go through with it.
Yeah. So you can either do that after the deliverables. If you do it after the ascension and you say, okay, and if you had this type of help maybe 6 or 12 months ago, like where do you think you'd be today? Then at that point, they justified the deliverables. They say that's everything I need. Like, that's perfect. And then you go into the shift in terms of what it means for them, and then the timeline. And you say, okay, but you tell me, like, do you feel we're actually missing anything to get you to XYZ place? No, I think we have everything. Okay, how do you want to do payment? Right. And then you can just do that. That's in mind that you pitch the price up top. Okay. So I generally do price up top just because literally I just feel like it's easier. It gets that shit out of the way, and they get the fear out of the way of being like, oh fuck, how much is this gonna cost? You don't even have to deal with that. So I just throw that shit out there. I'm not, okay, let me revise that. I don't just throw that shit out there. After the foundation, I'll usually go foundation. I'll say then the funding required for us to actually do that for you is around $9,000, right? Or it's $10,000. But what you get for that $10,000, or how we get you to that result, is deliverable one, right? So that's what that would look like. Any questions on that specifically?
So does an extension like the deliverables, and do you tie that in with the shift on each deliverable, or is it like, okay, I'm gonna go through the deliverables and
No,
then go into?
it's more so you want to focus purely deliverables in Ascension. Deliverables attached with a little mini benefit, right?
Okay.
So example, right? For all of you guys, I
Can we
mentioned
go
like
through
live.
like a whole thing
Yeah,
on like a fitness
we can
offer?
do it for this. That's fine. You guys have all heard the pitch, so it probably isn't gonna matter. All right, Greg. Let's say I was doing it with you.
50K.
So Greg, my goal,
real quick before you go, if anything I just said hit, you'll like what I'm about to tell you. There's a public leaderboard live right now where closers are racing to double their cash collected in 14 days. They get real trophies. Public ranks a $1,000 cash prize every month for the closer at the top. The math is simple. Take your last 14 days of cash collected and beat it. Closer doubling from 5K cash collected in the last 14 days to 10K. It's the same tier as a closer doubling from 50K to 100K. So you get the same trophy, the same recognition, and you're never in the wrong weight class because it's based off of your ability to grow. So it's free to join, it's free to learn, and it's free to start growing today. The link is in the description. Click join, and I will see you on the board.